Hello, I'm listening to my favorite group, Garbage. I got kind of a funny story about that. I used to listen to them all the time in my 20s. Let me turn it down just a little bit. I used to listen to them all the time in my 20s, around when grunge was pretty, I don't know, popular. And this is like a combination of grunge, techno, music. And so I was playing this music in my room. Oh no, it stopped. I was playing this music in my room, and my mother was like, "What are you listening to?" And I was like, "I'm listening to Garbage." And she goes, "I know that. But what's the name of the group?" I was like, "Mom, it's Garbage. That's the name of the group." She's like, "Oh, okay." But on a serious note, I got a story to tell you. A long time ago, and when I was a little girl growing up in Georgia in the 80s, I had so many different friends. I had friends that were from Peru. I had black friends. I had white friends. But I was really close to my friends from Peru, and we lived in this townhome type of apartment complex, and we would always go visit each other's homes, and we would play, because like in the 80s, you just were allowed to play until the lights, the street lights came on. So I was playing with one of my friends, and I just happened to notice from far away there's these two white guys that they were standing in another building. They had a lot of tattoos. They had no hair on their head. They were bald. They had a lot of tattoos all over them. And I noticed that they had something pointed at us, but I couldn't really make out what it was because I was kind of far away. They were like two houses down. And they pointed something at us, and all of a sudden there was a noise. It was a real loud pop. And then I see one of my Peruvian friends go down on the ground, and she's grabbing her leg and she's screaming and crying, and we're like, "What's wrong? What's wrong? Did something bit you?" Or like something like that, because we're just so innocent. We're just thinking, did she get a bee sting? And so she was wearing shorts, and like very quickly the mark on her skin turned a dark blue to purple. It wasn't bleeding, it was just a huge bruise. And she goes, "No, something hit me. Something hit me hard. I don't know what it is, but my leg is burning." And before my sisters were like tending to her, and I was kind of far away, so they had to tell me what the commotion was about after it happened. So I was just looking over, and I was just very inquisitive, just wondering what these two guys were doing. And they had something that looked like a scope, and it was pointing at us, and I was just wondering what it was. So something shot out the scope again, and I could literally see like there was a a black ball coming from it. And for some reason, my imagination went to, because I was only 6 years old, like, oh, they're trying to play ball with us or something. And I reached up to catch this black object, and it hit me in the head. And when it hit me in the head, right here was just bleeding. And I started to scream because it was just burning hot. It was just burning. And I ran over to my sisters and I said, I've been hit with something too. I don't know what it is. Something hit me. I thought it was a ball. And then all of a sudden there was just more loud bangs coming from the direction of these two men. And we saw these black objects hitting cars, breaking windshields that were near us, and denting cars. And my white friend got hit in the arm, and she was screaming and crying. And so we all like kind of ran home to our houses. We just kind of ran home. And my sisters kind of carried me because they were so worried about me being hurt, and the fact that they were looking after me, and they thought they were going to get in trouble. And so we told my dad what happened. And my dad said, no, basically those men were shooting at you. That's what this is. Show me where they are. Show me where they are. So my dad he had a gun. He gets his holster and his gun, and he goes outside to see where these men are. So it kind of caused my anxiety to go up because I saw my dad with a gun, and I didn't know. When he said that we were being shot at, I was like not connecting the dots because I was so young. So my dad goes to where I pointed out to see them, and they were not there. So he calls the police, and it's the DeKalb County Police, and they are real countrified. They take their time to get there, and they barely look around for these people that were shooting at us. And when I described the fact that they had no hair on their head, and they were like covered in tattoos, even tattoos on their head, I could see that from that far away. I just remember distinctly, without understanding what my dad was saying, but he was like telling the officer, he said, those are neo-Nazis. They shot at these kids, and you have a duty to protect us. That's what we pay you for. And the cop was like, hold up. You don't pay our bill, and we're gonna check it out. But I don't need you to be going out there with your gun, because if you go out there with your gun, we're going to arrest you. So my dad looks at them with a very confused look. So he says, I can't protect my kids from someone shooting at them and could potentially kill them. My daughter has been shot, and you barely look around for them. If they come out again, I am going to come out there with my gun. And if you want to arrest me, go ahead and do that. So he said, okay, sir, okay, we're gonna look at it again. We're gonna check it out. And so they checked out the building where these cowards were, and they weren't there anymore. But a couple days later, we weren't outside, or we tried to go outside, but we were very cautious. We kept looking around and seeing if those men were back. And they had moved to a different building, and then they were shooting at us at a different angle. So they didn't get any of us at that time, but we were able to report it to my dad that they were shooting at us at a different angle. And he went into the building to see if he could catch one, but he couldn't catch them. They had, it was almost like they had an inkling that they were being chased after, and they got away before my dad could get to them. So for a couple weeks, none of the kids went outside because we were all worried about our safety. And the shooting stopped, but we still didn't go outside for at least 2 or 3 months. And eventually the shooters left. But they were never apprehended by the police. The police, even though we called them multiple times, they never did any investigative work to protect us. And so from that age, just learning, just being 6 years old, just being this black girl that's 6 years old, and watching my dad interact with the police and watching their attitude, it really made me think that we are not cared about. The police do not care about us. We are out on our own. And that's why I think it is important for there to be critical race theory taught in school and Black Lives Matter to be taught in school, because I was 6 years old. I was shot at by a neo-Nazi. If I can endure that, then a 6-year-old can understand a story from Harriet Tubman or a story from Malcolm X. Black children are experiencing violence at a very early age. They're learning very early that they can die because of their skin color. And I don't understand why critical race theory cannot be taught in school, or Black Lives Matter cannot be taught as part of the basic education for America. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.